Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffey Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all, as well as the podcast, on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 113 of another Woodshop podcast, where today we wish an icon happy birthday, Mike Coffey. Turning a whole 25.
I thought you were talking about the save icon.
I thought you said Pogcast. And if we did like a Pog exclusive podcast, it should be called the Pogcast.
The podcast. We just talked about Pogs.
The Pogcast.
Speaking of pogging,
we are Pog collections.
Mike, happy birthday, dude.
Pogging. This sounds like something. It doesn't
like
sound
that,
like collecting
but
Pogs, though.
Smaller.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome
Pogs.
to my birthday.
They're short,
it's much smaller.
girthy.
Yes.
Yeah, tuna cans, as
Hey,
Gifro said last week.
Girth rhymes with growth, and
Girth bro.
You want to talk
Girth
about
bro?
growth? Do we have someone?
Speaking of girthy growth, big thanks to our new patron over at patreon.com/Patreon. Yeah. No, it's Josh Murchie. Thank you for joining the Meh Army over there. We really appreciate it, man. We appreciate your support and the support of all the patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. It goes a long way, and we really appreciate it, and helps us to be able to do the show every week, except for the days weeks we don't do it. So big thanks to you guys. But that's only been like 3-4 times now. So we have a pretty good track record for keeping up our end of the bargain.
We do okay, guys.
We're doing okay. Also, I think it's really important to remember that in times like these,
Go Black Betty,
we should be reading our reviews, and we haven't done that in a long time because we had so many guests. And in fact,
so few
we're gonna
reviews
have guests next week. Yeah,
guys,
we've had 2 reviews in like 2 months. Let's stop dropping the ball. Okay, let's kick into gear, guys.
And you know what? Go nice, short, sweet, to the point, and also confusing, and 5 stars only.
Right.
That's
right. 5-star, confusing, short, sweet, also long,
punny,
but short.
Also,
And
punny's good.
Don't use any A's.
Plays on words.
And you cannot submit reviews on Thursdays.
And
they have
only
to be
in
all the
Spanish.
Spanish only. The rules are not there for our safety. They're there for your safety. So please
safety.
review
responsibly.
Put on your PPE. The first review is from John's Out for Blood. Not sure what that means. 5 out of 5.
I think I know what it means.
1 star. Me too. I do too, but I'm gonna act like I don't. Because
okay.
Of you wouldn't want Yankee Candle Company. 1 star, worst packaged podcast. I thought they were unclear. Nope, that's not what it says. I misread that. Sorry. I thought they were underwater, but then I realized it's just 3 giggling girls drowning in their AW penis. I recently visited the headquarters of the AWP radio station in Upper Sarpy County, Nebraska, only to find out it's a front for a circumcist clinic.
Circumcist?
I didn't read that part. Threw me off guard. Once you get past the screeching yowls of the king of bow ties circumcisions taking place. What is happening? These aren't even words that go together. You find the kindest soul in all the Midwest. Turns out, under this dumpster fire of a podcast lies the 3 greatest beings in all the lands. Max, Luna, and Binks make this podcast worth a listen. Solid 8 out of 4. Thank you, John's Out for Blood. We appreciate you. We honor you. We envy you. We enjoy your smell. And the next one is 5 out of 5 from Just Some Wood Guy. Just 3 dudes talking about wood. That's the subject of it.
I thought that was the entire review.
No, I wish. It's 7 to 10 sentences. So let's go. Just sit down and buckle up. Sit down and buckle up for a podcast that will put you in a glass box of emotion. They will take you on a journey for an hour to 2 hours a week with these 3 guys that have a bromance that rivals that of JD and Turk from Scrubs. They answer the questions that have challenged even the greatest woodworkers. They are the Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea, the IT guys, the Sacagawea of woodworking podcasts.
Pete's
Besides hanging-
Sacagawea.
Well, Mike is Carla.
I want to
from
be Clark.
Scrubs.
No, it's Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea.
I know,
Scrubs
but
is out now.
The one before that.
Yeah. It's
You're
fine.
Carla.
Besides hanging out together and watching Hallmark Christmas movies and critiquing HGTV shows, they like to share pure knowledge with the world about wood, business, math problems. They have a math guy and other topics that will enlighten. After each episode, you will either go scissor kick the night away listening to Nickelback like Dan. Go have a glass of the finest scotch in a room built with walnut, or join Pete working on getting his rogue gnome to level 69. I don't have it ready. I feel like such a fool. I should have read it. Hold on, here we go.
I'm a level 3 rogue.
There it is.
Almost there, buddy.
I know. I didn't even know that was there. I gotta have that one. I should have read the whole thing. Anyway, man, it's been a long time since we've heard the rogue gnome audio. It's been quite the minute.
I haven't said anything too nerdy lately.
You've been keeping it pretty non-nerdy. It's been pretty neat. We're all proud of you, Pete.
Thanks.
Anyway,
you guys were talking about Star Wars stuff like last week.
That's not nerdy,
not
that's
in the
awareness.
podcast, but
Kenobi is so good.
yeah.
Oh,
See,
man.
there you go.
Did you, Pete?
There it goes.
Listen,
Here it
total
comes.
sidebar. Are you guys watching Stranger Things?
That's the next thing to watch.
Oh,
Oh, it's
dude,
good?
this
Not good?
season is so good. It
Okay.
ended at part 1 ended, and I was like, oh no, there's
Wait.
no more episodes until July.
I thought it was
It's
just
so
one
good.
season of
Oh.
that show on Netflix, right? With
Well-
the bald little girl and the.
This is the 4th season.
And her name's 11.
Yeah, or
Oh,
Elle,
okay.
as her friends call her.
Or
Anyway,
11.
super good, Pete. It's way gorier than the previous seasons. Like,
Ooh,
It's
I'm about
gory?
that.
How's it gory?
shockingly-
There's kids in this show.
It's shockingly gory this season. I was like, oh, okay, that's a big change from the previous seasons. Anyway, it's a really
Weird.
the writing is through the roof too. It's really good.
Oh, I'm
It is
stoked.
not.
That's
It
like
is
the next on the
100%
list.
not a kid's show. Not a kid's show.
Good.
It is super not.
Not
Well,
for
I was
kids on YouTube.
looking for a good family time movie or show, and that's not it apparently.
Oh, go watch Scrubs, buddy.
Yeah, maybe you heard of them.
Scrubs.
Maybe you should watch the Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea documentaries on PBS
Yes.
Kids.
Yes.
So good. I don't know what we do now on the show.
Um,
What is it next? Do we
I
go?
think
We
we,
start asking
do-
Chris questions, or is it Eric this time?
Rub
Oh, I know what we do.
our
I
benches.
remember.
What's on my bench?
That's
There it
the
There we
one.
go.
We do what's on our bench.
That's the
So,
one.
with that said, Dan.
Oh,
what's on your
me?
bench?
Yep.
I can go first. Do you want me to go first?
No, I'm gonna go first. I got
Cool,
stories to
perfect.
tell.
I'm just gonna mute myself, and Nat is just totally fall asleep right now.
I wouldn't go asleep for long because I usually don't go long, if you know what I mean. Just ask my wife.
I catch what you're saying.
he does it to himself.
It's a
Short
fun out of
trip
it.
to Cervix Town.
Circumcist the Soleil.
So, I haven't done a whole lot in the shop this week, other than a few Etsy orders I did before we went on a little small camping trip. My family and I. If you don't know and you're just starting to
traveled.
listen, yeah, in a trailer,
No recreation
no
was
recreation,
had.
no, none. If
be
you
clear
don't
about
know
this.
and you're just listening now, my wife's a teacher, and my kids and my wife are out of school, so we took a few days, the day after Memorial Day, to go camping because that's the best time to go. The absolute best time to go. Mike is bored already.
Why is that the
Gone.
best time to go? Is it because of all the crowds?
I wish
Yeah,
I could have gone camping this week.
The
That'd be
crowds
amazing. I mean,
are
everyone's
ridiculous
gone.
on the
that
actual
just makes
holiday
sense to me.
weekend, so
Yeah,
we go after the holiday. Anyway,
you get all these Polish immigrants buying smokers, barbecuing all weekend like they live here.
hollering all day and all night. It's really
What?
like
the Polish mating call. Poor Emma. Pete's upstairs. Spread eagle.
I think we got a show title already. Polish mating call.
What is happening?
I don't know. I'm very
So
tired.
anyways,
Like
we
I have
went.
very little brains right now.
We took a short camping trip. It was wonderful. It was super relaxing. It was so great. There was this old gentleman like 3 spots down from us, but he was actually our neighbor because there was nobody else
Polish?
there. It was not Polish as far as I
Did
know.
you do the
but
video thing
I
on
did
him?
hear the mating call. Yeah. He was.
You
he's-
can't handle the truth.
No, I didn't do that. I was getting to some other video I did with him.
Sorry.
This is weird. No, I got to talking to him, and he's trying to sell his camper. So apparently, I became a camper salesman, and I was trying to help him sell his camper through my stories on Instagram. I wonder if anybody called him. If anybody called him, let me know.
Yeah, Dan gets
super
10%.
Nice.
So Dan gets.
I get
money.
nothing. I just get love and admiration.
Wow, sucker.
Wow,
About the
right?
commission.
Way to get you some money from who knows whoever bought it.
But yeah, we had a really good time, and then we left today, and this was our first trip out of the season, so I'm a little rusty. So if you're familiar with campers and the camper life and all that, you know how when you leave, you have to go to a dump station and dump out all the excrement.
Dumps like a truck.
Yeah.
That's like what?
All the excrement from the toilet and what have you, and so the dump.
But Dan, I don't own a travel trailer. But
Yes.
if you could please explain what excrement is.
Yeah, I only own an
fecal
RV.
matter, fecal matter, and piss water.
I
There's
never
a show title.
was into that one. I was more of a Family Matters.
Stop
kinda guy,
describing
not a
Casey's
Fecal
Pizza.
Matters kinda guy.
Do you want me to quit right now? I will quit right now. I will just up and leave.
No, you won't.
I will.
I will.
I'm taking a drink. Hold on.
It's like swallowing
right.
mid-word.
So, the the drain pipe for the
Isn't that your favorite bar? The Drain Pipe?
No, that's my favorite band from the 90s, the Drain Pipe.
The Drain Pipe. It was so sad.
Or is
when
that the
drummer
Verb
died in that
Pipe?
car accident.
God dang it, let me tell this story.
Yeah. No more.
So the what?
I love this story.
The words just escaped me all of a sudden. The drain pipe. Oh my god. The poop pipe. Yeah, I like that.
Poop
the
chute.
pipe.
The old poop chute.
It has two valves, and it also has a pressure fit
How did you say
stop.
that, Rod? Poop.
It has a pressure fit stop, and I didn't realize that the valves were open, and I opened the pressure fit stop. And when you open the pressure fit stop, you have to crouch down and put some force into it because it's pretty tough. So I'm crouching in front of the pressure fit stop in front of the pipe, and I'm trying to open it, and the valves were open, and I didn't realize it. And as soon as I opened it, I got covered in pea water.
You do mud butt.
Pea water, Iowa. Beautiful this time of year.
Yeah, I got what is affectionately called an Ottawa steamer. Affectionately. Anyway,
Affectionately.
yeah, it was a very good trip until then. Anyway,
I'm a
but
big fan of Pea Water, Iowa. That sounds
it's a real place. It's a real place.
Dan got pissed drunk. That
Not
day.
much work got done in the shop this week because I needed a break. I needed some time for myself. So
You
I have
cut out 7,000 bow ties in 3 months. You need a break.
I'm looking at my Etsy right now, and I have 25 orders in my queue that I need to get to.
God.
All right.
How many on average?
Seven of them
bow ties is that per order?
are due tomorrow. So
Yeesh.
I need to get on
How
that.
many bow ties on average is an order? Is it 4?
15. Actually,
15 to an order?
Yeah.
Wow.
I do my most popular bow tie
The walnut,
order
of course.
is walnut, and I offer a multi-pack of five minis, 5 mediums, and 5 large, and that's my most popular.
But I ordered red oak. What's that one guy? Is that what was it? He said he ordered what now?
He said oh god, this guy.
It doesn't matter.
Thank you for bringing up bad
Sore
Bloodworth.
subject. Yum.
bad blood. Nice. That was good. That was good.
like that. All right,
That was good.
Pete, you go next.
Hey, I'm Pete, Polish immigrant with smoker.
I'm ready to make babies.
Max is all excited. He's like, "Oh, my call!
It's Max's mating call.
Oh.
Maxie.
What did I do this week? So a printer, if we're
didn't
watching
you
the
do?
video, printer's still not assembled behind me. It's still sitting there. I've just been
Is that
He's like, I
your
just won a $20 bet.
Prusa IMAX?
yes,
Plus?
close. Yep, almost.
Oh, you got the big one in?
No, not the XL. Oh, the XL didn't ship yet.
Oh,
Yeah. No, I got the
I+3.
Mini and then the Mark III behind me, and there's another Mark III in the box still. I just need to finish them up. I just haven't. I'm in a slow season right now. So right now I'm
Obi-Wan Kenobi Master Chief.
It's R2
Niner.
Mark II.
R2 Mark
D2.
II. There we go.
So haven't been working a lot on that. What I did pretty much most of the time since the last podcast leading up to Memorial Day.
Monday, that sounded very Russian.
Last podcast.
Since the last podcast.
Didn't it?
Yeah, sorry, I'm really tired. I've basically been just working on stuff around
out.
the house and just trying to get more landscaping stuff done, more outdoor stuff done, clean up the deck a bit, just do a bunch of crap because we were gonna have a big party on Monday.
Thanks
that was a lot of fun. It was the first time we really like threw a party at this house, and it was a blast. It was a nice all-day thing.
It looked fun. I wish I could have been there. Wish I would have got an invite.
Yeah, well, it was a long flight. We got this kiddie pool that's definitely like a pool for just adults because it has cup holders. Oh, hi, hello. Apparently, I have a Jello shot now because we're Jello shot. Our friend Jamie made Jello shots for the barbecue, which is awesome. But the barbecue is super fun.
I want you to slurp that right now on.
I will
on
in a second.
On the mic.
And when Mike is talking, I'll do it.
16:23. I just want to pull the audio of Dan saying, "I want you to slurp that right now."
Yep. I'll do this later when I'm not talking. But
that's going to be the Easter egg for the episode.
I thought Tomas.
Aside from that, I got
that'll be the pre.
That's There's come on, Dan. There's that and the Easter egg. Two different things.
I don't know these.
So I was talking about last week that I ordered a smoker. So I got this Traeger smoker in on Saturday. I seasoned it Sunday, and Monday I had to cook for 30 people on it. So I was kind of freaking.
Hey! I just realized something. You bought a smoker and you're Polish, so basically you're a pole smoker.
I'll allow it. All right, I'll allow it. That's fine.
I'm so mad that I'm laughing at that.
Yeah,
it's so dumb.
I'm not gonna justify with a laugh, but I'll allow it. That's fine. Yeah. There's also like smoked kibasi jokes we could make, but that's fine. No, next time. So I've had this venison.
I think I should retire now.
You should. I've had this venison leg in my freezer for like a couple months because my buddy's a hunter and gave it to me. Made a bunch of ribs, and my next door neighbor, who's a cop at one town over, he hunts. His basement is basically a bar with a bunch of taxidermied bears, moosin, whatever. Beavers, everything. Mises, thank you, Mr. Mises. So a bunch of them. And so he's like
Mr. Mises.
When beaver is plural, it's bevi.
Bevi. Okay, I thought it sounded right.
Beavis.
Oh, yeah, Beavis. Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe is new movie coming out. Anyways.
Really?
Yeah. What? So I smoked this. I did the venison. The ribs came out amazing, guys. I can't wait to have you over and do the ribs on this. Thank you to everyone that I asked for help, setting it up because I was super nervous. But I was freaking out about making this venison because it was a giant piece of meat. I've never done it before, and I take it out, and it's the juiciest piece of meat ever. It's so good. My neighbor loses his mind. He wants like my recipe, my marinade. I'm like, dude, I just Googled a bunch of stuff and I did all of it together. So, and my buddy who actually hunted the deer was over too, so he loved it. So again, thank you to everyone that gave me the tips, because the thing is, I got into smoking because I had tons of offcuts of cherry, and I was like, hey, it'd be cool to smoke some ribs or whatever. So I feel like a lot of us get into it because of that. I know Spags did. And I was actually talking to him about the grilling because he's got nothing going on right now since the shop is disassembled. Aside from that, just getting caught up on Etsy orders because I basically ignore them all weekend. And aside from that, I have not been in a shop. I have not really been in a print shop. We had someone leave our job, so we're down a person. Someone else is on vacation, and another person was sick. So I've basically been pulling 16-hour shifts at my job. This is the third day that I've done it. So I'm already 50 hours into my work week.
That's
and it's
48
only Thursday.
hours.
Dan's the math number guy, whatever. So yeah, I haven't really been doing a lot of projects, but I'm excited for this weekend because I have so many projects I need to start tackling, and it was nice to have people over, but man, I'm just so tired from entertaining and prepping for that whole weekend. I needed to take half a day off after that. So, Mike, I want to hear all the excitement with you and what's going on. And you tell me the words. Say the words.
I don't know where I was last week on stuff, but just busy in the shop. Matt and Sean were in there today. Sean's been here all week. It's really nice now that his kid and my kid are out in summer school or out of school, I guess, for summer break.
School, they failed classes?
Sean's able to come start work earlier in the morning now, which is super nice. We're getting so much stuff done. It's crazy how much we can get done. He's comes around like 9:30 every day. We work till about 3:30 together. Then he goes and does stuff at his property. But yeah, it's just super nice. We're getting so much stuff done. We got so I had that bug table kilned. That is
re-kilned, right? You already had it kilned once.
No, it was never kilned before. I treated it before with
was it air dried previously?
It was previously kiln dried, but it was kiln dried 5 years ago. So it in theory got infested since then.
Okay,
and then,
I got you.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, so yes, you're right. I did have it re-kilned, but I didn't actually have it kilned the first time. But yes, you're 100% right. We did a what's called a sterilization process on there, and I'd love to say pee is sterile, and man, we had to drink so many big gulps to cover that thing, but that thing was covered in pee. They actually don't call it a sterilization process; they call it the R. Kelly. So yeah,
I thought it was the Ottawa steamer thing I was talking about earlier.
I don't know. Pete's slurping pretty hard, and it's really making me uncomfortable. So no eye contact, please, Pete. No, but so we got that table in. We got that sanded backed up. Oh my God, I hate mouth noises. Good Lord.
He just dropped a blue ball in his lap.
Well,
it's on you. I'm standing.
We finished this English Elm book matched conference table. The book match looks so good on this table. It's
gorgeous.
It is so beautiful. When I went down to pick up the kilned slab, the Claro walnut slab, they had a very cheap English elm slab, and I was like, man, I really want to make a console table. So I picked up this English elm slab for like $150.
Wow.
And I got it for cheap. 4 inches thick. It was 16 inches wide and
4 inches
9
thick?
feet long. Yeah, it's huge. I can make 2 of those. I saw that in half.
Exactly.
I have 8/4. I have 2 pieces of 8/4. I can make another one of those console tables easily.
You could book match those almost.
Yeah.
Or hear me out here, river table.
I can't wait to make one.
How about Delta match?
So I started
just make a three-way match.
Just hit them in together. The triad. We'll call it a triad table.
It's like us.
No one can comfortably sit at it, but it works for the design.
Yeah. Everything just slides to the center.
More Illuminati than triad.
Yeah, the Illuminati table. No, so we got doing this console table, which I've been wanting to build for no joke. It's one of the first pieces of furniture that I ever wanted to build. I have the original, very first piece of live edge wood that I ever bought, ever. It's a piece of English walnut. I actually bought this piece of English walnut to make a console table about 4 years ago. I got too intimidated by it. I put the thing in my top rack and I went to making cutting boards, and I never got back to furniture for like a year and a half later.
As you do.
And that piece of wood is sitting in my woodshed right now. That was going to be my console table, but I just never got time for it. And then I changed my design. Originally, it was going to be like a Nakashima-like look. Everything was going to have like through tenons and tusked through tenons. I was going to go for that look. But I decided to change my mind. I decided I wanted a long single piece of wood for a waterfall miter. And then now I'm doing this mid-century. Anyway, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's a lot of fun. But I still have that piece of wood, and I think I'm going to save it for like another special piece of furniture.
You should make it into cutting boards. For all time's sake.
For sure. It's going to be bottle openers.
They sell
the most special of woodworking projects.
Jello shot cups.
Jello shot flight. The flight thing. You know, what is it? The flight trays. You put all the flights of beers on. Yeah. It's going to be one of those. No, anyway. And then we're working on this desk, guys. Like this is the project right now that it's going to come out. When this thing's done, it is going to be absolutely stunning. I'm so excited about this. Dual mitered waterfalls, using the Festool knockdown for the connection at the miter for the L. It's going to have Doug Mockett grommets in there for the pass through for all the wire management and stuff.
What the heck is Doug-Mocket?
Doug-Mocket is a company that makes really nice table hardware. They make like pass through like grommets, and like they make J metal, the shape like a J that you put underneath the table to like run the wiring through and stuff.
Oh,
this
okay.
whole thing is like super tricked out. It's like it's just really nice stuff.
That J metal was like Japanese heavy metal or something.
J metal. Whoa,
big into J
metal.
Metal.
Canceled.
Well, like K-pop.
I'm just joking. J
heavy
metal.
K-pop. That's Korea.
It's J metal. Japanese metal. No,
like P-Rock.
It's Polish rock.
Yeah.
what was it? It was Pisstown, Iowa, or whatever. What was it called? No, but anyway, that table's looking really cool. We're doing this Monopoly game thing. This thing's been in the works. I mean, no joke. The first conversation started like before I even took Coffee Custom Builds full time. We're finally getting into this. We got the grounding boxes going on right now. We got 8 floating shelves we're doing for a customer. The customer that ordered the conference table, the 2 barn doors, and the 2 signs just ordered another table today. So they just ordered another table. We're doing a folding table that's going to fold up on the wall. It's going to go like in their kitchen area. So like the table it has like folding hardware that'll fold down. So it's flush.
A Murphy table?
Yeah, Murphy table. Actually, that's what I'm going to call it from now on. I like that. Literally, I'm just making a big cutting board. We're just making the tabletop. The hardware's already I'm having that. That's like, going to be pre-made. Yeah, it's going to be a folding table. So they're that is going to be. We'll knock that out on Monday or something like that. So what happened?
I thought.
Did we lose Dunlap? Is he gone?
Is he gone?
This is it.
He's finally gone.
He's back. All right.
I'm still coughing up pea water.
The pile of stuff right now. I started doing this job with Room and Board for these shelves. These like L-shaped. They're real simple shelves. It's more of a manufacturing job than like a custom commission by far. It's more manufacturing than anything. It's more for like a cash flow thing. It's not something I'm like super excited about, but it's a good job with a company that I really like working with, and I'm really excited to work with. So it's good work. I'm really happy with it. It's going to be keeping some good work, cash flow for the business, which is you got to have those jobs sometimes. It's bottom line. When you own a business and you run a business.
Hey, speaking of cash flow, yes, let me interrupt if you don't mind. Remember a couple weeks ago when I said I was going to be done taking commission work and I was going to focus more on it?
You never mentioned that.
And yeah, speaking of cash flow, so I'm probably going to be getting 7 more door projects. 7.
What they say, when a door closes, 7 open.
That's what they say. Anyway, sorry, Mike. I forgot to mention that.
Right.
Go ahead.
Don't be sorry.
I'm not sorry.
I'm glad to see you're back in the door game. Or
never left.
In the door game. Yeah, you never left. Anyway, yeah, that's what's going on for my week. Just busy. I love it. I love being busy. I do need a vacation pretty soon. Things are about to get really. I got the buildings behind the gross outbuildings behind my shop. I tore them down, I think last week or this weekend. I got them in this dumpster. I rented a big roll-off dumpster, filled that thing up like in a day, literally in a day. Had a new one brought out, swapped them out. The new one's mostly full, but I ripped out a trunk, like a big stump, not a trunk. I ripped out a big tree stump out of the ground earlier today. I'm going to start paving the new driveway because the slab is going to be poured here in a week or 2, I think, something like that, for the new building going in. So I'm really trying to like push through the next few weeks and maybe like month or so I can get that building in. And then after that, I'm going to really try to get a vacation and like just take a week off, maybe go to San Diego or something, or I just need some time off really bad. So that's my plan with that.
So are we all going to be going on vacation at about the same time, or?
I'll probably try to go when you go too, Dan, actually, just so it's kind of timed out together. But
we should all go together.
Speaking of what's on my bench, kind of like show related. Next week we have, so just as a precursor to this, part of my business, I really like to use salvaged wood for what I do. And one of the companies I've partnered with, well, it's not like a partnership, but it's more of like, we have a relationship. They're not really a partnership, but we have a relationship together. One of these companies is Cambium Carbon. I've worked with them. Actually, that's where I source the Carbon Smart lumber from, which kind of a self pimp on that. I'm actually having 5,000 board feet of English walnut brought in June. So that I will have more of that. I know a lot of people locally are really interested in getting their hands on some of that. We did some talking, and the price is going to be, it's going to have to go up just because prices have gone up, but the price is going to be still really good. So I'm going to be able to have a bunch of that stuff. But some of the guys from that entity are going to be coming on the show, and they're going to be talking about, this is something that's really near and dear to my heart. Dan and Pete were very gracious enough to have them come on the show, because this isn't something they necessarily deal with as much as I do, but this, they're not coming on here to pimp their company. They're coming on here to discuss the urban salvaged wood movement and the responsible reforestry, responsible acquisition of lumber, and these kind of things is actually becoming quite a big movement right now. And it's really shaking up the traditional supply chain for lumber. We're starting to get a hold of wood that we wouldn't have gotten a hold of in the past, because the lumber industry saw it as not, they weren't going to make enough margin on it. The money wasn't there. Like English walnut, all this English walnut I'm getting, typically it doesn't get sold as lumber because it doesn't grow very tall, and you just can't get 8 or 10 foot long sticks out of it that are viable. All the ones I have are shorties. They're all 6-footers, all of them. That's just how it comes. That's just why it works. So for the lumber industry that works in 8s, 10s, and 12s, it doesn't fit to their model, which makes sense. They have a lot of people that need to get paid. There's a bunch of people involved, and it just doesn't fit their model. So the salvaged lumber and the urban recovery lumber movement, the stuff that Cremona does, there's a lot of this popping up all over the country. And since COVID has hit, the number of people with bandsaws in the United States has never been higher. You can't even get a Wood-Mizer machine right now. Like they're 7 months out. Big, smaller bandsaw mill companies are starting to pop up just to fill the need for all these bandsaw mills that people are starting to buy. And as a result, so are the kilns. Is like iDry has gotten huge in the last 2 years, and some of the other companies that are out there are really starting to see growth. And basically they're going to come on here and talk about who they are and what they do for sure, and what companies they work for. But the point of the episode is to talk about this movement and how it affects the everyday woodworker and how it's going to continue to impact the everyday woodworker. So that's kind of the conversation. So I just wanted to give everyone like a primer for that.
And we're going to have a good time, as we always do, though.
Yeah. And so this one of the guys, his name's Paul. I actually, he's a very knowledgeable guy. He is like where I want to be with my business in 10 years. He has a lot of information. He's been doing this for a long time, and he is a fount of information. I think that's the right phrase. He is more than happy to share information with you, and he knows what he's talking about. He's got a very successful lumber business. He also has a furniture company, which is different than how I'd want to approach my business. I want to be a furniture company that also supplies lumber. He's more of a milling operation that has a furniture business attached to it because it just makes sense. They have all this great, like they have like quad grade A, like walnut and stuff, highly figured stuff. So anyway, bottom line is he's very funny. He gets the joke. We're not going to have to, it's not going to be it's not going to be a sterile corporate conversation. It's going to be a fun time like we normally have. So looking forward to having those guys on. Also coming down the pipe, we don't have a date set yet, but the Wood Whisperer is going to be on the podcast, Mark Spagnolo, which is very exciting. There's a handful of people in the community that really helped me get to where I am at, and he's definitely one of them. I don't necessarily consume much of his content these days, like being very honest. I don't consume a lot of people's content these days, but when I was first learning, he's definitely one of the people I was learning from. So I'm very excited to have him on the show. I know Dan and Pete are. We were all very excited when he said, yeah. And then we just talked to Jordan with Growler Domestics is going to be on the podcast. We got a bunch of guests. We're really trying to pack the guests in for this year through the rest of the year. So Casey Reeves is going to, anyway, we got a bunch of great guests coming on. So it's going to be really fun. So I don't know why I felt the need to mention that. I just wanted to mention that because we don't have a guest this week, but we are going to continue having guests because we just really enjoy it. And I think we all think it adds a lot to the show. So hopefully you guys agree. Anyways, that was a long program note, but I wanted to get that in there.
Got any words left, bro?
I'm so tired. So I don't have any more words. So I'm going to let Kimani take over.
give you the setup for this question just so it helps.
Weird that it did that.
Hey guys, you did such an awesome job of answering my question last week. I'm back with another one. So I'll give you the setup for this question just so it helps you answer it. I was listening to the radio a couple of days ago, and there was a guy from New Jersey who was working in LA, and
Not me.
he said he was commenting on a thread and basically said, what's something that you think is overrated? And he goes, In-N-Out Burger, which apparently caused a massive uproar. Somebody in the room said, well, New Jersey pizza is overrated, and that just caused the whole thing. So it got me to thinking, what is something that's probably super popular, either a tool or something in the making field, that you feel is actually probably a little overrated for what it is or what it does or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's my question. What is something that you think is probably a bit overrated?
That is an interesting question. And Kamani called this in a couple weeks ago or a week ago. And even then I could not think of something.
I still can't.
Do you guys have something?
I still can't think of anything.
I mean, Dan, like a year ago, would say dust collection.
I would have said that a year or two ago. I would have said a jointer. I think a jointer is overrated. You know, you can get what you need off a table saw and a planer with a planer sled, but man, having a jointer is kind of wonderful, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of years ago,
for a lot of things you can.
When I was first getting started out, I feel like drill presses seemed like every cool shop has like a floor standing drill press.
Really good one, Pete. That's 100% true. Drill presses are super overrated.
And like, you do not need, first of all, you don't need a floor standing one. Most people don't.
No.
I use mine like maybe once a month, honestly. When you need it though, it's the best freaking tool. But I feel like a really decent like cart height or tabletop one is all you need.
Yeah, I love mine because it's bougie and it's nice. And I actually find myself using it more and more and more. But there was a good year and a half where that thing just didn't even get turned on. Like I've got that nice Viking and or that Nova Viking, benchtop one. And man, I was like, oof, never should have bought this. But now we use it a lot more. And now that we're doing more manufacturing type of stuff, we have more things where we're kind of doing that kind of stuff in the shops. So it really is very useful now. And I'll talk about something that you were mentioning is that spindle sander.
Yes.
Unless you're doing very specific work, a spindle sander can be very, very overrated. I mean,
I have one in my shop and it's still just sitting on the floor since I moved in.
Yeah, mine's set up and we use it. You know who does use the spindle sander a lot is Sean. Actually, he uses it in ways that I don't typically, which is great having another person in the shop for. You get different perspective of things. Like I'm like, I never would have thought to do that, but it makes sense and it works great. So
you
Sean
should
ends
make
up using
real content out of that or something.
Nah. Okay. I know I should make content for sure around that. But I mean, Sean will use it and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea to use it for that. So it's not like crazy outside of the box stuff, but I wouldn't in my flow think about it. So for me, like the spindle sander gets used like twice a year, but now that Sean's in there, it's getting used more, which I do like to see. But I'm trying to think of like another.
I would say
like that,
maybe
you know?
If most people don't need this, a dedicated router table. If you have a table saw you can build into the wing, perfect. Some people just kind of build into a workbench.
Dedicated table.
Dedicated table. Yeah,
I got you.
Separate from your table saw.
I thought you meant just router table in general.
I think having it in the wing of your table saw or like built into your workbench is a great thing especially if you're starting out. I'm kind of thinking of like not where you're doing specific work or like more professional.
I think stuff. For me, I really am at the point now where I do need a table, but I think that's fair. But like I think because now I'm finding myself using the table saw for much wider stuff and I have to disassemble everything and take it off. But I agree with you. Like for the most part, in a lot of cases, an actual dedicated table is not necessary.
Dan?
I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything.
Like it's tough because like I don't own any of the tools that I don't think I'll ever use that are overrated. You know what I mean? But I have a lot of tools. So. I
think it's kind of a cop out to go, you know, what else is overrated? River tables. I mean, we've all been down that conversation.
Okay. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this one. Like a lot of hate because this is I think a very specialty tool or something that people get like me just to have a lathe. I think a lathe serves a great purpose. And if you want to do lathe work or you're really interested in it, absolutely get it. But for like people that think like, oh, I'm gonna have a woodworking shop, and like they just get a lathe because they want one. They see one on
How many
Marketplace.
people do
Whatever.
that?
I don't think a lot of people do that though, Pete.
I did, and I know of other people that have. Like, I got a lathe because I really wanted a lathe, and I've used it all of 0 times since I moved in here to this house.
That's why I had no
Well,
problem.
no,
sending it to-
but I think
want
a
a lathe
lathe is
fully
something that
knowing
people
that-
want to get.
I want to lathe fully knowing that 1, it doesn't make any sense for my business model, and 2, it's just for me. Here's the thing: Sean has 2 lathes and is an accomplished lathes,man. What do they call
Turner.
Lathe.
He's
Turner.
lathy.
Of course. No, he has 2 lathes, both a medium, a midi, and then like a big lathe. And Sean can turn anything. So
Yeah.
I don't need to
which
own a lathe.
I agree. I just think it's a specialty tool. Like some people might say like a CNC's
But
overrated.
for sure, it's a
Which they don't-
specialty
yeah.
tool.
So like, but I just think it's. I'm trying to think of
It
tools that, like when
specializes
you're
in
starting
turning
out
wood.
your shop. I know, but like when you're starting out your shop, the things that people think
No.
that it makes you a woodworker when you have a
Unless
lathe.
that's your jam.
I think it's
No.
more of it needs to be your jam.
It's not like a
thing.
table saw
one
type
of
tool.
one of you said this. One of you splurted this out. Splurted.
Splooged.
Slurp it, Pete.
Splooged it out of your mouth. Before I got a CNC, I would have said a CNC is really overrated. But now that I have one,
You find a
totally
use case
not
for it.
overrated.
And
Dude,
I
that
was
thing makes money
literally
hand
having
over
this
fist.
conversation in my head as I was getting out of the shower this morning. I was like, man, I can't even imagine like the amount of business that has opened up that machine.
Yeah.
has
yeah.
opened up
I
for me.
wish
It's
I
like,
had more space so I could get a bigger one, just because I know it would bring more business.
Yeah, dude.
Even
if
though
you
I'm
had a
not
bigger
doing
one,
any
holy
more
cow.
commission work.
Yeah, you don't need one now. I mean, you don't need to scale up anything anymore now that you're done with commission work.
Yeah, 7 more doors later. Here we go.
Anyway, good
Oh, but
question,
if I
Tamani.
had a
Thank you
bigger
for-
one, definitely.
sorry, Dan. Yeah, for sure. Be sick. Then you wouldn't be walking away from all this sweet commission work. You'd be
No, definitely not.
CNC Master Dan. This is from Mike Lydon, Lido's Workshop.
What's up, guys? Mike from Lido's Woodshop. I'm going to throw out the CNC questions. So, starting out, your XY is at such a plane. You CNC your first cut, second cut. That XY plane that you initially surfaced off is no longer there. It's now pocketed out. How do you account for that with your next tool change? I don't know if that makes any sense, but...
Initially, it didn't make sense when I heard it because I think I was distracted. But for me, if I know if I've set up the tool paths and I know I'm going to be in this problem, I'm going to cut a separate piece of wood that's exactly the same thickness as that piece that I'm starting with so that I can touch off of that afterwards.
Or reference off the bed, right?
You could, unless you're doing a non-through cut. If you're only doing a pocket, not all the way through, but
even if you are,
could do it off the bed for sure. I mean,
You know,
you can. You're right. My statement's completely wrong. You can definitely reference it off the bed 100% as long as you know the thickness. You're 100%
that's
right.
also a good thing. Like, all right, if you are cutting out, if you're not actually doing the whole thing, if you've got a corner or something that's nailed down, you got a reference point. But yeah, so making another piece.
He's saying it's all gone. So I'm assuming in
It's
this
all
situation,
gone.
he's double-sided
Like he
taping a piece
flattened
down
it.
and he
Yeah.
flattened it all the way down. And for some reason, he needs another tool to reference off that height. I'm not sure why
Well,
you
he
need
did a
that.
tool
You
change
could
or
just
something.
reference off the new depth and redo the job.
I'm assuming it's a 3D carve. Let's
So-
just assume it's a 3D carve.
I'm assuming it's a tray of some sort, and he's bowled out. He's pocketed out like a bowl.
But he'd have
and
edges. If he had a bowl, he could
But
reference off
maybe
that
he
edge. for
flattened
his-
it, bowled it.
Let's say he's
Maybe.
doing
Who
a
knows?
wavy
Whatever the
flag
situation
file,
is.
and the whole top is wavy now. And that's a good
That
example.
didn't sound like AJ. No, so we could.
Well, like,
No,
it's the whole thing's gone yet. Go off the bed. Mike taught me that
Yeah.
trick, and I was like, why have I never thought
I
to go off
wouldn't.
the bed?
I wouldn't do it that way.
Going off
I would just re-zero in the pocket, and then
Yeah, you
make
could
sure that
re-zero in
my
the pocket, and then
make
change
sure
your
that my safe Z is enough to get over that lip. Because if you don't
Yeah.
do that, you're gonna have a
But
bad time.
honestly, I think a lot of people are intimidated by referencing or by zeroing off their beds. I think I was at first because I was taught to reference off my material, and I was like, I don't even know what this is. I'm not gonna. But then I started doing it. And I was like, holy moly, this is so much better. Like referencing off the bed is the
You have
way.
to
in
be
most
very
cases.
exact
when you
with the
reference
thickness
off the
of your
bed,
material.
though, don't you? There you go. That's
Yeah,
exactly
you have
what
to
I
be
wanted
very
know.
exact with the reference of your material, because anytime people are
No, you
like,
don't.
Well, you have to
No, you don't.
make sure you
all
clear it.
So if it's 0.75 and you just have to make sure you clear it. So all you do is make it thicker in the job. So if it's 0.75, maybe you just say it's 0.77 and now you have clearance for the bit. So it doesn't just jam in. But it might have that first pass, not be cutting as much material as the next passes, but it's safe and it works every time. Yes. And if you are, so like if I have 70 boards, and they're all varying in size from 0.72 to 0.78, I will set the job up as 0.79.
Yeah.
That way I can just switch boards out and just keep hitting go every single time. And I never have to reset my Z.
Super off, because you don't want to be going through the piece
that off. You need to not be using your CNC. Because
also, people
you need
that
to be
reference
semi-accurate in all things.
The bed on one cut and then they do another cut on that thing and they referenced off the wrong thing. And we've all seen that like plunge cut, or when it goes home and it like cuts across your piece, like you set up your piece wrong. You know, people are
that's basics.
It's user error at that point. It's not the machine making it.
Yeah, that's CNC 101 stuff you need to not have happen for sure.
102. It's 102.
102. It's
Can
CNC
we say 102 and a half?
Stuff.
102 and a half.
102. It's summer school CNC.
I like it. Summer school.
Show title.
The next question is it's for us. That is Daniel Dunlap, Peter Kapar, and Mike Coffee.
You forgot my name.
But it's from Moses Cho. I was trying to go to a Piote, but I was like, that's too much work. I'm going to go with Peter.
Hey guys, my name is Moses. Hope you guys are great. You guys are all great, but I hope you guys are doing great. I had a question for all of you guys, and that is, what is your current first aid kit situation? So we all have workshops, and whether that's a garage or a nice shop with Mike Coffee, it is, Pete, Dan, you guys have awesome shops too, but I'd say size matters. Size doesn't matter. I don't know.
No, you're dead to me.
Anyways, Mike's is the biggest, I hope, I think. What am I saying? Guys, all I wanted to ask was, do you guys have a nice first aid kit system? And if you guys do, what do you guys have? What's like some of you guys' most important things that you guys have in the kit? Thank you guys. See you later.
I'm going to answer for Dan. My name is Dan. I do not have a first aid kit in my shop. Pete, what is your Dan, what's your answer?
It's so accurate. It's not even funny. I
Dan,
don't have a first aid kit in my shop.
Tell us what you think will get you the less trolly comments or the least trolly comments.
But right inside my shop door, there's a bathroom, and I have some bandages and some.
Jam that finger in that toilet.
So if you cut up your fingers, you have to then turn a door handle to open a door to go into another room with
Why is it so slippery?
I have a saw stop, so I won't be cutting off my fingers.
Oh, they make bandsaws now too? That's all awesome.
Bandsaws, jointers, all the above. I have them all. I wasn't supposed to tell you guys.
You're the test subject?
You're the test subject.
Secret.
It's a very secret.
Could you imagine Dan trying to keep the secret that he has in the sauce?
Don't look over there.
No, I got bandages and
he's like, oh, it's kind of a big deal over here with
hydrogen peroxide and all that stuff in the bathroom, in drawers and stuff. I don't have like a kit. It's just in there. Somewhere.
Sure, I don't know exactly which drawer, but I own them.
I own many drawers.
I own many drawers in this house.
What about you?
So I have a full little triage kit with stuff that I would like stuff I would actually need if
someone's been watching MASH.
We're all gonna get paper. We're all gonna
Grey's
get
Anatomy over here.
Splinters, paper cuts, whatever. Or not paper cuts, but like wood cuts.
McDreamy over here. Am I
little
right?
blade cuts. So you obviously have band-aids.
McPeedy.
You want me to answer or not? So stretchy band-aids.
No, I'd really like to make McPeedy jokes.
I go with stretchy band-aids. I hate like the fabric ones. I hate plastic band-aids. Why do they even make them?
Yeah, those are the good ones. Fabric.
They don't stretch at all. So fabric band-aids, I have a whole bunch of sizes because I'm always bumping into something and cutting up my hands.
Plastic band-aids are like the pro wings of band-aids.
It's like the Casey's band-aids of band-aids.
You guys don't know about pro wing shoes?
No.
Oh, I'm much older than you. That's
Is it
right.
Menards brand?
No. When I was a kid, we were poor AF, and my parents couldn't afford like nice shoes, so we'd go to Payless, and that's before Payless was actually.
Yeah, we used to go to Payless.
Yeah,
we used to go to.
They would sell shoes that had a plastic sole, and when we
So does
did
Casey's
like
Pizza.
when we stop. You're just angry because of McPeedy. So when I did
That's what I call my.
when I did gym class or PE class in elementary school, I was sliding all over the floor like you couldn't get any
He's got a
grip.
Scottish accent. McPeedy.
Oh,
Anyway,
McPeedy.
I forget where
McPeedy.
I forget where my joke came from. I forget where that stemmed from. But yeah,
I don't know. You were pretty drunk back then. Who even knows?
when I was 3rd grade. Okay.
All right. So, anyways,
No,
aside
when
from
you told the joke.
what Dan was saying,
Oh,
it's,
plastic Band-Aids. Yeah, they're
yeah,
like the
plastic
Pro
Band-Aids.
Wings. Yeah, there we go.
trash. But I have a bunch of gauze, both in squares and
You have a bunch of gauze?
rolls, gauze, and a tourniquet in case I need to tie something off. So that's all that stuff. Also, I have the SOS thing set up on my watch, so if I need to hold that down in case, like, you know, I'm dying in the shop and bleeding out, it calls on.
Oh
my
yeah, I
friends.
have that now.
Yeah, you do. Make sure to set up your emergency contact. all that
Life
stuff.
alert.
Life alert. It's life alert for
It hangs
for,
around my neck.
You know,
Ah!
yeah,
I'm fine.
definitely get gauze, because here's the thing: a lot of us have like
And
band-aids
it
in the
won't
shop,
get up.
and if something truly happened to you, you need gauze, you need some kind of tourniquet, you need some way to tie it off. You might need a plastic bag, God forbid. Like, I don't, you know, like, we're making jokes and
An
stuff, but
ice
like,
chest to pick up the
get
fingers.
some, get some gauze, get some stuff that will actually stop the bleeding, in case something really bad happens. So, Mike, what about you?
I have a
What do you
box
have in
of
your
t-shirts.
giant shop?
Your giant, amazing
Uh,
shop. I'm Moses, and
I have
You're amazing, and I love your shop.
Can I come over?
That was Dan quickly turned directions in the middle of whatever he was about to say. I love your shop. No, I have a first aid kit for sure. We have a first aid kit. There's 3 people in the shop, so I got a pretty decent
I mean,
first
yeah,
aid kit I got from.
You have to be responsible now. You have employees.
I got like a big first aid kit from Uline. They have really nice first aid kits, and we have an eye wash thing now. You know, and I got one in the shop, and there's one in the spray room and by the laser now. And I got fire extinguishers by all those. I've got one by the CNC, in the spray room, and by the laser as well. So I keep them in the spray room mostly because we deal with a lot of hard wax oil in there. None of the solvent stuff, I don't really use any of that, but we use a lot of hard wax oil, and that stuff sure does like to start on fire if you don't properly air those rags out. The Rubio Monocoat, actually any of those BLO
Have we
based
talked about
finishes will start on fire.
fire extinguishers? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well,
I
no,
said I have
well,
in my. That's
I have
not
one in my shop,
specifically
too.
the
I mean, that's a
question, but
very important thing to have as well. I mean,
you need to have
absolutely.
that in the shop. It will.
I have
If
those.
if you have
All
something
jokes
on
aside.
fire in your shop, in a place full of wood, and you have no way to contain that quickly, you might as well just call it quits. Because
And remind me if I'm
man, oh,
wrong,
man.
but for lasers, you want a different kind, right? Because if
you're
it's,
probably right, and I did not know that.
I think it's a different kind. I don't know if it's the same kind that you like run in a kitchen would be appropriate, but it's something about like if you're cutting stuff other than wood, it might not put it out with just a regular extinguisher. If like some kind of
I did not know that. I'll do some research on that.
Yeah,
I just assumed I
I'm
got the
not
right
a-
thing.
and this might be coming out of my butt. I don't know, but I just remember vaguely someone talking about you need a
You can
special
get-
type for lasers.
You can get a universal.
You do the research and let me know.
Oh, I'll bang it right
You can
now.
get a universal fire extinguisher that does everything.
Really?
You
Everything?
can.
What did they have it at Costco on sale?
Everything?
Everything.
Everything's up.
$5. Yeah, thank you.
I don't
I was wondering. Bloop. Anyway, big thanks to our patrons. No, so that's our answers for that one. This next, what's up?
Oh yeah,
Pete?
so
What'd you
no, that
find?
is a thing. So there's a CO2 fire extinguisher. It needs to be a class B fire extinguisher.
That's what I have. Class B fire extinguisher.
Okay, so
Boom.
you might be okay. And then same
A
one you would
class
use
B.
for electrical stuff. So that's the other thing. Oh, maybe because like
Cool.
if it's conductive electrical, all that stuff running through it, it could actually cause a worse fire and short and stuff. So that's good to
Makes
know.
sense.
And then they also
Good-
make these
good
things that
information for
are
Pete.
which
Finally.
I'm-
Took
Oh,
2 years.
I actually have been thinking about getting this in my print shop, and that is they make
Sex
these
swing.
passive fire extinguishers that will only go off if there is a fire below it. And that's like because like my 3D printers run when I'm sleeping, And if like the alarm's going off,
no, that's
there's already
sure.
a fire.
Automated things running when you're not there is man.
And printers are very safe,
do
but they're just sitting there heating up. That's what they're doing. They're melting plastic. So
the only thing I would worry about is like a false trigger. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it needs fire. It doesn't even take like it doesn't work with like smoke or something. It needs to be like heated up. The fire is what makes it explode and stuff. So there's those systems too. Some people do actually set them up above their lasers as well, especially if they're running them in the house. Anyways, we went down a whole rabbit hole, but yeah, fire safety was a good call, Mike. That's And then if if your shop's in a bad neighborhood, Dan, what do you need then?
Glock 9.
Packing heat.
Packing heat.
Glock 962, I think is what it's.
And you got to get the one with the sights on the side.
Yeah, and you got to.
Anyway, so this next question is from Tomas, our friend from France. He is really coming in hot with the calls. Thank you, Tomas.
I was trying to block Pete because he was making me uncomfortable.
Birthday this week? Oh, I just didn't fully understood the last podcast. If so, I'm really early or just really late, and I'm sorry. It's Thomas, by the way, from France, and I won't give my Insta again because I'm sure Pete will put it in the show notes.
TSG.Makes.
Sure. Anywho, I've got a question for you today. What is your favorite wood? Nope, no, not that one, sorry. Would you rather have a table saw or a saw on a table? No, that's not funny. Here it is.
Guy gets it.
I'm currently working on my DIY dust collection system, and my budget is really tight. And because cyclone with 100 millimeter inlet, it's 4 inches down, are really expensive. I made my cyclone dust separator out of a big planter, and I also got a second-hand blower for 50 euros. I think it's a Delta portable blower, and after a quick bing, I realized it's only 500 CFM. Knowing that the farthest tool will be 4 meters of hard PVC tubing away, it's 160 inches down. Is this blower powerful enough, or should I just get a better one? Thanks for the podcast. Bye.
He said
5.
He said 500 CFM.
500 CFM.
Yeah, I think that's going to be plenty.
So that's the Delta single blower that everyone has, right?
Yeah, I think that's
the cheapo one that you can get for like 50. You got it for 50 euros, so it's probably that blue one that single blower with a bag on the back.
Yeah,
it's only 160 inches. I think it's going to be plenty.
Was that like 14
with
feet?
a 4-inch outlet?
I'm bad at math.
He said 16 feet, I think he said. Yeah. That seems a bit
160 inches is
160 inches. Oh, yeah, that's fine. You'll be fine.
And especially if it's a straight enough run, you're going to be fine with it. Just make sure it's sealed up.
Yeah,
nicely.
if you got like no or very few 90s in that thing, it's going to be fine. You'll be fine. It's not going to be the amazing, but it's going to be just fine.
Here's the thing, like before, because I still haven't hooked up my my new one. The old one's got about the same CFM, and I run that like 20-foot Rockler stretch hose, which is ribbed too as well.
That
and like
Penn State has about the same CFM as that.
Yeah, I think about the same. It was actually more powerful.
You have the P-Flux one?
No, not as that one, as the one he's talking about, the Delta.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
No, not as the P-Flux. No.
I was like, what?
No.
Penn State's way baller.
No, but that thing, like, I vacuum up stuff easily on the other side of the shop with that 20-foot hose on it. So yeah, you're not getting like crazy suction on it, but it's honestly for a smaller shop, a 1-car garage, you're perfectly fine.
Here's the other thing too. It sounds like, and this is not meant to like, this is just an assumption on my part, but it doesn't sound like maybe you have the tools that really need the high CFMs like some of the other tools. If you have a table saw connected to that, that's going to be plenty of CFMs. If you have a 20-inch planer, it's probably not going to be enough CFMs. That thing is going to clog up super fast because it's removing so many chips. So I think based on that is the machine you have in your shop, you probably don't have some of the bigger machines that need those bigger CFMs. So I think you're going to be just fine. Like a bandsaw doesn't need much dust collection at all. it really just needs to get kind of a little crud out of there.
Yeah, if you got a 33
table saw.
centimeter planer, you're gonna be fine.
Right. Thank you for doing that math.
It's a 13-inch.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, those are I think you're gonna be just fine for what you got. And
also, we need to talk about secondhand blowers. I need one of those.
No.
See you at Maker Camp. I hear they're all over Easter.
Hey, can I sleep on the floor of your room?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a secondhand blower. Oh, crikey. No, that was good stuff. Hey, look, I think that answers the question, right, Dan?
No, it does.
Specific?
Yeah. Tomas, you're gonna be fine, man. That's plenty power.
Yeah, I think you're good, man.
Just make sure good honestly, seals. That's the main thing.
And like you could.
It sounds like he's getting it at a good deal. So yeah.
Yeah. And if he keeps that one and he gets like a better one, like another blower down the road, he can keep both of those ones and then dedicate that to one machine if he wanted to. If he has one that's exceptionally high chip rate coming out of it.
Maybe down the road he can get a first-hand blower.
It's the dream. First-hand blowers.
Is first-hand getting it from the manufacturer, or is that still like
direct from the manufacturer as a first-hand blower?
That's direct blower.
That's a factory direct blower.
Is there such a thing as a zero?
That might be the
blower?
show title. That might beat Polish mating call.
No.
You did
factory direct blower is okay. Polish mating call. All right.
No. Whatever. They're both good.
Factory direct blower.
No, it's fine, Dan. You win. You get Polish mating call, which I believe may have already been a show title.
It may have been.
We've had many Polish titles, but I don't think Polish mating call has been it yet.
We had a pretty good run where people were like making videos and stuff and all that stuff.
Hey, remember when our community engaged more with us? Come on, guys. We need more memes. Let's do it.
Memes.
No.
Anyways, that's the show. We're 101 minutes into this, if I'm reading this right. Oh no, that's not right. An hour and
101 minutes.
We're an hour and 1 minutes. So big thanks to our patrons.
Isn't there 100 minutes in an hour though?
Yes,
that makes sense.
In an Omaha hour. I took a video. We set up.
These are Euro hours.
Between the spray booth and my shop, I put up. You know those third hand things I have, those poles that extend out.
Third hand blowers.
For the kill room I used to have to make. Well, we set up a tarp in between the spray booth and the shed today and use those third hands to hold it up just so we were spraying some spray paint for the sign we're making and we needed to keep it out of the sun because it was drying too quick because it was like 90 here today. I showed a video of like the ghetto rig setup we did and Henry Gonzalez was like, his comment was Omaha clean room. You always gotta drop some good one-liners.
You're dead to me, Henry. That's funny.
It's like where you butcher a hog outside.
Tarp on a dirt road. Yeah, exactly. You like do like births there and stuff in Omaha. No, anyway, big thanks to our patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for everyone who shares the show. Thanks to all the people who call in the questions. Sorry we haven't gotten to questions in a while. We've had guests on and it's just kind of hard to do it. We're always typically having a good amount of banter with them. So keep sending in the questions. They will get played for sure.
If you have good questions about urban logging and how to get started with that, all that stuff, send in some questions for next week.
Thank you, Pete.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mike.
Pete, very good. Yeah, if you have questions about those things, please get them in. Thanks. Please get them in. That is 100% on point for Pete to mention that. We've got some people that know a lot about urban logging and salvage lumber and that whole tree, like the soup to nuts movement of taking a felled tree and turning it into furniture.
Say soup to nuts?
He did.
Cradle to the grave.
No,
these are very similar
soup
phrases.
to nuts.
Anyway.
Show title.
You've never heard soup to nuts?
No.
I have not.
Okay, fine.
It translates differently in Polish.
I think that's on the docket for show title, soup to nuts.
Soup to nuts. We'll save it for next week.
Let me bang it.
Super nuts, Steven,
get some,
if you will.
Get your questions in for them if you have any questions about salvage wood,
this is a
urban
movie?
reclaimed wood, urban logging, kilns, bandsaw mills, reforestation. All these things are very important to they're very important to what we do. Honestly, guys,
general hygiene.
Very seriously, if trees go away, we don't have woodworking.
Yeah.
So we need to do everything we can.
Anything really.
To keep. Yeah, I mean everyone dies, but There
there's
will be
that.
more pressing matters at hand for sure, Dan.
Also, you
Good
can
point.
get your hands on stuff that's literally illegal to harvest right now, like some redwoods. Like Mike's got redwood in his shop, but
Well, you can
can't...
get chestnut.
I don't think the government's supposed to know about that.
Well, no,
You can get chestnut, which you cannot cut chestnut. You have to. I mean, chestnut is a endangered species, but if you get it salvaged or something like that, you can get a hold of these things. So and they'll be able to talk.
You know where to get D's nuts.
Yeah, I'll send you a text after.
Domestic chestnut.
Anyway,
nuts.
get those. Domestic chestnut grade 3. It's the best. Oh no. Anyway, get those questions in for them. We appreciate all your guys' support. Keep sharing the show and your stories. We appreciate it very much. So we'll talk to you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Bye now. Bye.
Bye.
Love you long time.